And welcome to the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. This is going to be a good one, people. I got some really dope people talking about astrology today.
Are you ready? Let's talk smack.
But before I get into introducing who's on the pod, I want to give a couple promos to my dogs. Anybody in Vegas that needs a haircut. You know, the pandemic came, I got a beard. I didn't feel comfortable going to random people and having them get all up in my face and cutting my beard up. But my boy, Evan, not only does he only charge $15 for these cuts, people, and he's saucy with it. Mind you, I'm coming up, I need a cut soon. But Evan will even come to your house and cut you up at your house, dog. You can go to his house, your house, it don't matter. Evan's there. $15 cuts. Hit up your boy. I'll make sure to put his contact info in the description. But also, we got something else we're going to talk about that's coming up real soon. Let me introduce my people, baby. I got Michael, the Peace Dealer, man. He's coming here. This is the astrology whiz. He's Vegas bred. He's letting us all know what he's doing, and he's building a fucking platform for himself. The Peace Dealer on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. And in addition to Michael, I also got Paris on here. This is her first time dropping by Talk Smack with Mac, and it's
What's up, guys?
Pleasure of mine. I've been asking her to come on forever, and I finally got her. And I got my dog, you know, the host of the You Know What It Is podcast, always bringing his kind of negative opinions. No, I'm kidding. Vari's always bringing those good opinions, and he is killing it with his podcast, You Know What It Is. Make sure you check him out. But Vari has been telling me about some of the best food that this dude has been eating lately, and he's going to let y'all know about it here in Vegas, local restaurant. Vari, let us know.
Yes, sir. If y'all into Jamaican food and y'all want to go ahead and experience some authentic fire, go ahead and check out Big Jerk off of West Sahara. That's one of the locations. The other location is off of Silverado. Make sure y'all check them out. The Curry Goat Flame Fire. They do after hours over there as well, from 5 to 12. So make sure y'all go check them out, man. Big Jerk.
Big Jerk, man. I'm excited to try it. Not only is it local, but it's also real good, authentic food. And, you know, that's what my fat ass is looking for. So I'm very interested in checking them out. All right, so back over here to Michael, the Peace Dealer, man. I was checking out your videos, man. It's funny how I hit you up.
Yeah.
So I got my boy over here, and my boy David, he found you, actually. So the thing about, I'm going to jump over to Vari. Vari and myself, we're really big in local talent, man. We want people local to know who the hell is here.
Right.
You know, we have so much talent in Las Vegas that nobody hears about because we don't band together and grow those people. We got to show support to our people the way LA and Atlanta and New York and these other places do it. You know, we need to be that for Vegas.
Right.
So my homie David comes over and he's like, man, let's find, he introduced me to Miles Lowe, dope ass local rapper. Make sure y'all check him out. But he was like, man, let me see if I can find somebody else. That's when you popped up. You know, he put in something like Las Vegas talent or some shit like that, and for you to pop up, that's cool as shit. You know, that means you're one of those exclusive Las Vegas guys that are holding it down for the city, you know, even if you are doing it intentionally or not intentionally.
Yeah.
So that's pretty damn cool, man. I appreciate you spending some of your time with me and coming on my platform.
And I'm grateful for what you're saying because I was not really aware of a local scene.
There's not really one. We're trying to build it. We're trying to create that.
I appreciate that straight up because that was as a musician and as like a counselor, I'm at a stage where I'm ready to network and like, you know, understand the local, but like that is kind of where I felt blocked as far as not really even knowing there were like efforts like this. So I'm this is like a wish come true. I'll say that.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
There's a lot of people in Vegas that are really trying to band together and figure this out because we see blueprints and shit already put together from other cities and shit like that. Look at Atlanta. Atlanta is so well put together and they're so well put together and they come together and they rally behind each other. So that's what we trying to build here. You know what I mean? So
Vegas is so small too.
Right.
So we have to jump on those opportunities now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody was so separate before, and they were in their own mindsets. And now it's like a collective. Now everybody's thinking like, yo, if we come together, we can do this. It takes a lot of it takes the headache off of you. You know what I'm saying?
I remember going to see Clear Soul Forces, shout out to CSF, and they were at the Ninja Karaoke. And the thing that really made me really happy was that there was local talent that opened for him. So I was like, okay, there's actually like presence here and there are people here. And I remember another show that they performed at, I think back again at karaoke, they were basically talking about, I think it was someone saying that Vegas is cool, but there's just so many people from out of town that kind of come through.
Yeah.
And they were basically talking about, you know, coming together. But like to be here and to see that y'all are actually, you know, making that effort to congregate that, I appreciate that a lot. I moved here 2016.
Where from?
El Paso, Texas. I'm from New Jersey, but one thing I remember in El Paso was also building up the music scene there, especially for hip hop, which wasn't necessarily as like accepted.
Shadow band people.
Right. But the underground scene is really dope. But what I love the most about that is seeing other local artists grinding, like working together. So that's really what I wanted to do here too. And you know,
it's hard to find it. It's hard to start.
What I would say though is that it's so nice being a part of a community where a legacy hasn't been built yet.
Right.
So that means that it could be
we're going to be that legacy.
Because you know, like when you look at other cities like Atlanta, there's so much history that's already been put there before them. So it's
put on the map.
Yeah. So it's a lot harder for one person to rep that city because of the heat that they already have there. So
the only rapper I know from Dizzy Wright, or only artist I've heard is Dizzy Wright from Vegas.
From Vegas.
But yeah, and even then that is kind of like I don't hear about him much anymore.
Much often, you know what I'm saying? Because it's
unless it's this conversation.
Like I feel like there's a lot of
we know him because he's from Vegas.
There's a lot of talent in Vegas that doesn't get shine
recognition
like that.
Yeah.
It's not even that. I feel like it's just that it's not only one is image, it's who you know as well. In Vegas, people, I know a lot of people out here that haven't even been to Disneyland.
I got nervous. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying they're not even like, you know, they haven't even been to Disneyland. So it's like Vegas people need to learn how to network and communicate, but Vegas people are not friendly. Like
at all.
Okay.
I don't get it. It's like you could reach out to somebody, and I'm not speaking directly about anybody.
It's just
but
the
it
culture.
seems like the narrative, the culture of Las Vegas
you gotta
is
be
a bunch of people.
Everybody's fucked up.
It's like bro,
it's a scamming ass.
Right.
So that's like I was telling you before.
That was what I was told when I moved here. Like I got a reading from a psychic shop, and the lady was like, "Yeah, be careful about them ladies out here because you know this isn't really the best town and city." But I was like, "Okay." Well, she
they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, literally down to the talent, because
for real, because the talent will stay here forever and never go nowhere else.
Yeah, man, that's
and that sucks,
yeah.
Because you see New York and Atlanta rappers, and that's the thing that's crazy.
Not even the best ones.
Vegas idolize other people though. Other cities, other cultures. If you go to
Atlanta, they're playing, you know, the people that you've never heard of, but these are the local artists in Atlanta, but they're playing them in the clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In Vegas, they're just playing who? Drake.
Right.
Fucking,
all the
you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers who have residencies here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think, I wonder if the local artists go to the clubs, go to the DJs and like, hey man,
they don't
hear
have
my
enough
shit.
buzz to do that.
I'll sleep in my motherfucking car and hike out for the dude to come outside.
Exactly.
No,
what I'm saying is like to go get at Drez, you got to be on the radio already.
Right.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
only
you do.
playing hot songs. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we're taking our chances on the local artist out of Vegas. Niggas going to be looking at you like,
everyone's from
what?
out of town. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So they're appealing to a
So
whole
local music, where would you play it at?
Yeah.
So that's what we need to start, and that's what's going to be built right now is we looking to build a local music scene because obviously that is the thing that's been slept on in Vegas. Everybody thinks of Vegas as this gambling fucking
we don't have
hookers
schools,
and casinos
we don't got
and shit
nothing.
like that. Motherfuckers
It's just
thought
casinos.
every time I go out of town, motherfuckers think that I just lived in a hotel my whole
Right,
life.
yeah,
Like this is Sweet Life of Zach and Cody
And
type
that's
shit.
what first shocked me moving here. Like,
You
oh
thought you was about to
shit.
live in a hotel?
No, well, like I just didn't know there was a suburb, a mountain range, like a
Yeah.
whole local town,
Like a
like
community?
culture. I had no idea, and that
Where
was
are you
like,
from?
okay, this is dope. I'm from Jersey, but I moved
Okay.
here from El Paso, Texas, which was more like a small town when I moved. There's a baseball team now, but like, you know,
There wasn't much.
right. It's not like a city.
So
you know
in
what I'm
Jersey,
saying?
did you live in like a high rise or something?
I lived. That's a good question. I originally lived in.
It's funny how the different ideas that people have if you've
Bro,
never
like
been.
if
Straight
you
up,
live,
straight
if you say you lived in New York, I automatically think you lived
You
in
in
like
a
a
big-ass building.
brownstone or like an apartment
When
building.
I told
like
people
a
in
dorm.
Jersey that I was moving to El Paso, Texas, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be in a farm.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna be in slavery." Like it was,
You gotta see cows everywhere.
Straight up, they really thought like I'd be on a plantation or something.
All I knew is my mom, we had that conversation when I lived in Los Angeles. She was like, "You want to move to Vegas? I got a job out there." And I'm just like, "I'm going to be a star, yes."
I'm gonna be a star.
Mama, I'm gonna be a star.
We're going to Vegas.
Actually, when I moved, that's why because I was like, okay, I'll just be on the strip vending tarot card readings. That's what I was gonna do. Like, and then I realized, oh, they have psychic shops out here. I had to get a business license to like work there, but that's what I was gonna plan to do. Just like
Vegas is I feel like out of all the cities that I've been to, Vegas is the city where you can move and adjust the easiest, I feel, or adapt to what's going around, because it's a melting pot and there's so many different cultures out here that you're going to find something that you can get into or like
Or someone.
resonate with. Like it's
So many
easy to get
so many
comfortable.
different groups.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just
you
a
know,
matter of time
can you
before you
imagine
find
like
yours.
moving from here to like the South, and then like you're adjusting to like they're Southern and they're already family, you know, and you're
And
like,
strict.
yeah,
It's
so
like,
you're trying to penetrate that versus like Vegas, you come here, everybody's just kind of like doing their own thing, so you just come here, do your own thing and blend. And
That's the one thing. That's like it's like a catch-22. Vegas, when it comes to somebody trying to branch out and do their thing artistically, we don't support them. But if you're like, let's party, everybody
Everybody's
is down
there.
to party.
That's
Like-
really what we need to do. We need to trick
Yeah.
people. We need to be like, yo, we throwing a party. But at that party, it's just really just a meeting. Just have just a bunch of sandwiches.
like now
just
that I got all
sitting
you
there.
chicken
No
head
alcohol, no
ass,
weed,
chicken
no
head
none of
ass
that. Just
bitches
be like, all right,
here.
look.
Send them
this is
pictures
what
of
we
that
about to
shit.
do.
Look, bro, I just got
this
this.
is an MLM, no.
Nah, we about to sign these LLC.
No,
Hey,
this is
Yeah, for
this
real.
is the new.
I
this
need your
is-
signature here,
No,
here, and here.
this is the new generation Malcolm X March. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Like, we got to do something. We got to figure this shit
I'm
out.
just kidding.
Put
Yeah,
everybody in
man.
the same
Hey,
room and get to work.
us banding together. Let's see where Vegas and us are gonna be at in a few years.
Yeah.
How can we like make our mark in Vegas and keep on branching and getting bigger and more known? How do we get here to say, you know, I just touched down in Vegas, I'm about to party, I'm a gamble, but before I leave, best believe I'm jumping on Talk Smack with Mac and You Know What It Is podcast.
Facts.
I got to.
And thank you, by the way, because I didn't know that I was visible like that. So for you to just type in like, wow,
Man,
this-
20K? Come on, dude. You don't think you visible? You don't think you seen? You don't think motherfuckers is...
Wait, shit, that's Instagram.
That's
Let them
just-
know about the YouTube.
Right. How much is on the YouTube? You said you started at when?
2014, I'm 40K right now.
Look at that.
Oh, hey, I got 500.
I got 33.
Out of them, I think about 19 are very loyal, bro. I appreciate
what's up.
all 19 of you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
The loyalty is truly royalty. That's what
Yes, yes. Well, let's jump over to you. You say you started in 2014.
Yeah.
How? Like, how did you get the idea? You were like, man, let's just jump in here and build a YouTube channel.
Well, before that, I had a YouTube called Clear Sight. And it's
So YouTube just been your thing.
not really, kinda. It's actually really, really weird every time I like recall this story, because like, starting something new and going on an adventure, especially like during that phase in 2012 where like everyone was becoming woke and like.
We all thought we were gonna die.
And
Yeah,
there were
remember
all
that
these
shit?
conspiracy
We were
theories
dying in
coming out.
2012.
Right. Well, and most of them were real, right? But other than that, like, I always had this feeling like, oh yeah, I'm on this journey to enlighten and become awakened. Versus now, I'm like 9 years into the game, where it's like I got jumped and kidnapped into this shit. Like it's very interesting, but you know, outside of that, you know, I dead ass was planning 2011 to be a theologian. Like I had given my life to Christ. I had gotten a DUI. I had gotten a DUI.
So I gave my life to Christ and I got a DUI.
No, you got the DUI first?
I got the DUI for not even driving, all right? Because and it's crazy because a lot of people be thinking these stories about police officers are cap. I didn't necessarily, thankfully, get shot or anything, but it's
real out here.
It really, and like normally you would think, okay, that person's exaggerating it, but when you start to hear other experiences, it's like, oh shit, that's how I got done too, and like the corruption in just like the system. But I basically got a DUI.
Was it in Northtown?
It was El Paso.
Oh, it was in Texas.
Yeah, it was. So I got
Border
a
Patrol, or was it?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even drive. I got a DUI for not driving. But in Texas, if you're in the driver's seat and the ignition is on, it's a DUI. So I had gone to.
I think that's out here too.
Oh, well, I mean, it might be. This was back in like 2010, 2011.
Your car can't be running and the key in the ignition.
Exactly. But the weird thing was, I went to a party in New Mexico. I got fucking drunk. I snorted some coke. Like it was a fun party. But like, I was too drunk to drive home. So like, the person who I picked up drove back to their crib. I was asleep in the passenger side. So I'm waking up getting arrested. And this is before I realized I got literally picked up and dragged to the passenger seat, and then they put that shit there. But the weird part is, when you read the crime report later, the police officer wrote on the crime report that I had crashed into the car. So it was my car, there was a space, and there was a car in front of me. The police officer wrote that I crashed into that car and that it was fucked up. I had to get a signed affidavit from the driver of the car to be like, nope, he didn't hit me. The police officer is capping. It gets even crazier. When I get arrested, the arresting officer at the station ended up being the man who was dating the receptionist who worked for my mother. The reason why I even moved to El Paso is because she worked in Staten Island. She built a pediatric practice. So her manager's daughter was dating the police officer who gave me the breathalyzer. And he recognized me. So he's like, okay, sleep some more so that you don't have to blow that much. I still blew like a lot, but it gets even crazier because he has to actually report in court, I did the breathalyzer test for him. This is what I got. But he actually got reported for raping a chick, which what happened was she wanted to have sex with him. He said no. She said that he raped her. So they couldn't accept this testimony. I ended up getting a pretrial diversion. What I didn't know was that was actually a guilty verdict. So I wish I knew, because I would have fought that, of course. My mother had hired the lawyer representing me. I didn't really get into the case like that. Like, in retrospect, I should have, but it is what it is. That whole situation made me look soberly like, you know what? If I died right now, like, would I go to heaven? Like, I feel like the influences I have, I'm basically a lukewarm Christian.
So that situation kind of was like, I need to leave Texas.
Well, great question. Mm-hmm. So, because I
would have been like, y'all are weird.
Well, that's the thing. El Paso is right next to Juarez. It's a border town, right? So, like, that whole town, they call El Paso, that whole town is
different.
Crazy. Like, interesting. I'll say that. It's called El Paso for a reason. It's a great place to retire. I'll say that. But, like, I don't know. Especially now where it's not like it was 10 years ago. Like, they've built a lot of stuff. But I will say, yeah, like, I just started to feel more somber. Like, I need to get my life right. So I rededicated my life to Christ, because my whole life, my mother really brought us up in Christianity traditionally. Like, Sundays were spent skipping from church to church because the spirit wasn't in the church, and like my mother at some point was.
I just want to pause you and say, I'm glad that you say that you gave your life to Christ, because a lot of people feel like astrology, you can't like believe in both, like God and astrology. Right. They feel like it's pagan, but I feel like astrology is just science, just like explanation of.
I still have
how
issues
things are
with
created.
My family or like most people of that ilk, because that's what they feel like astrology is of the devil, and like
it's just an explanation.
Right. Well, what if the religion is the devil, to play devil's advocate?
I mean, God is not a religion.
No, Christianity. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So
I was talking about, well, like, yeah, I guess the religion, but
factually speaking, the Bible was canonized by old white men.
There we go.
Then that's a fact. Council of Nicaea.
But I don't believe that my belief in astrology affects my relationship with God. So
I feel like that's spirituality though. When you talk about God,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
The like Bible. Well, we're not gonna talk too much about it, but the Bible is really it's a guide of like just being a good fucking person.
It's a guide for white people.
It's just being a good fucking person.
No.
Don't kill people. Don't lie. Don't cheat on your partner. Like all the other stuff, they're just like metaphorical stories. You could read them and take what you get out of them. But
I mean, some people will say it's the white man's religion. I think it's really more like an esoteric text, and like it's been perverted. It's been like rewritten, but there's a central message in it that applies, and you see it in different religions. And I mean, it's
just different translations of like the same thing. Everybody.
Some people call it Jesus, others Yeshua, other people Allah.
Whatever your belief of God is, everybody believes that somebody created us.
Some people believe it's science and it's not a God. That's a belief. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's all theoretical.
I've changed my mind. So, you know, I kind of feel like Christianity was kind of forced on me.
It was forced on me. It was forced on everybody.
As I got...
It's a dominant American religion.
Yeah.
You want to know why? The documentary that I've been watching on HBO tells you exactly why. Because
What's it called?
Constantinople?
No, Exterminate All the Brutes.
Oh, the natives that were on the land?
Huh?
The brutes?
Exterminate all the brutes. So the brutes are the native, not the native, but the Europeans. The Europeans are the brutes. Opposite. The brutes are the natives that were here, over here. Okay. But it's telling you the story of how the Europeans came over and did all of this. So in the beginning, when they were doing the Crusades and stuff like that, I'm started from there because that's when all of the Western,
which they use religion to justify.
Exactly,
all that, right?
they used
slavery.
Exactly, they used religion to go over to Jerusalem, enslave those people, and to just basically be on a crusade for Christ.
Right.
They used that and basically tried to do what they did to the Native Americans over here, but they couldn't do it really. So they kept moving and moving. So they brought it down to Africa, started grabbing people from Africa, moving over to this side.
That's facts.
But yeah, that's how all that shit happened. Was during the Crusades, they went over to Muslim countries in Jerusalem and shit like that, fucked them up, then went down to Africa, taught everybody Christianity, told them this shit.
That's fact. My mother is from Nigeria. My father's from Nigeria. The Biafran War that they're part of, they all got colonized. That was after colonization, and it was missionaries that actually, you know, converted my grandpa, my grandma. My parents are raised in Christianity. I'm taught this because of that influence, which is just like, it's crazy how that comes full circle. This is when I find out that my great-grandparents actually had their own traditional religion.
Right.
It's almost like languages, though.
Right.
Because it's just something that you're just born into. You
the
can't
culture tradition.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you can't pick your makeup, you know? You're just kind of put in a body.
Which is crazy because people argue about it, right?
But it's just your
you don't get a
interpretation
choice.
in which you follow. And as long as you follow, like, whatever you feel the message is, you'll vibrate.
But just like you were saying about the astrology thing, right? So that's what we're here to talk about. And when were you able to choose that? Because if you're growing up Christian and all this other stuff, you're not really able to dibble and dabble into other things like that.
And that's what I appreciate about astrology, because Astrology not only set me free from that religious, and I feel like I was meant to grow up with that upbringing, because now that was like the discernment to go into this. But like, astrology not only broke me free from that limited way of like belief, but it came back full circle to make me realize my belief in God is not dependent on the Bible. Before it used to be. Now I realize the true word of God is astrology, the stars, where the universe is, of course, the living representation of everything that is.
That's where we come from.
Let me just say my understanding of astrology. I believe in the stars and how they're aligned and everything, but I don't believe it is God. But I believe God created that alignment, that alignment. God created everything. God created the world. God created us. He created man, woman, the earth, the water.
Transcendent.
But I believe that he created also a system so that things, it's kind of like the circle of life,
it's
literally.
Like the language and
literally like
of its
night and day is astrology.
Right.
Literally night and day.
It's in the when the fourth day of creation, where let us create the stars and the signs, that it was basically talking about astrology, and that's really one thing that fascinates me. A lot of the criticism or skepticism or superstition about astrology is purely fear-based instead of actually being like true. But it was in my desire to kind of study the Bible so that I can witness to people and bring them to Christ, that I realized, wait a minute, the Bible isn't as inerrant as I thought it was. The Bible, was rewritten, re-edited. Not that necessarily takes away from the message of it, but that's what started to open me up to exploring different avenues and ending up meeting somebody who, was into Santeria and the Orisha, and, he kind of helped me open up to the influence of how religion was established, and also kind of like breaking away from that traditional belief and opening up to the occult completely, which I value that experience, because I definitely went through that period after that where I experimented with some certain new age beliefs and like realizing why it's not necessarily the truth, and like looking into the Luciferianism and Satanism, because I could say like I've reached that point where your religion is forced on you so much you kind of want to rebel on that and be like, this is,
or at least find your own.
You know what I'm saying? And not basically what you're told, but what you experience.
Exactly.
Because you can't say, okay, this is the only way to believe, but yet people across the water, believe something completely different.
So where are they going?
Exactly.
I can meet the nicest person overseas, and they can be, not believing anything. Where is he going?
So are they going to hell?
Right.
And
so that's why I think that I like when I left and went to the military. I think that's when I realized, like, let me be my own person. Let me figure out things on my own.
And that's why I appreciate coming full circle, 30 years old, proudly professing my belief in Christ, because now it's not something that was forced on me. Now I got to
learn it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm starting to understand a lot of what I was taught at a younger age, but with the experience of wisdom,
with open mind,
right?
It's one thing to be told something and you hear it, so you just listen, and it's another thing to truly understand it in and out.
Right.
If you could really do that and explain it to somebody else, that's when you truly know.
Right.
That's when you can start making your choices.
Without
if something is pushed upon you and you just kind of go with it, you don't really understand it.
Well, I feel like a great simple way to explain astrology is just that every day there's different energy in the air because of how the sun is placed, how the moon's placed. We're a solar system. We're always rotating, we're always circulating. So every day, literally, when the sun comes up and it goes down, the temperatures are different on the earth. Everything is different. And literally somebody's born every day.
Facts.
And that is kind of like God's way of keeping like the world. It's like literally like their circle of life. And then it makes people not be the same. Literally no two people can ever literally be the same. I mean, you'll have coincidences, but you know those coincidences may never meet.
Or familiar or similar looks.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah, they say that you have like an identical twin across the world.
I believe that shit.
Yeah, I do too.
After seeing so many pictures, I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. Unless people just make some fake shit up, like let me draw.
I mean, there's only so many facial combinations. I feel.
Yeah, for real. There's, you know, how many billions of people have there lived and died. You know, you're bound to look just like somebody else.
Straight up, right.
Maybe a couple times.
You already have a
know.
celebrity lookalike, so you gotta have a doppelganger.
Yeah, for sure, man. So that makes me think there in history there may be like 2 or 3 other good looking ass motherfuckers that look like me out there.
To answer your question though, like after that kind of like realization and me
I love how you stayed on topic because I was about to bring that shit back too and just snap it back over there, but you did it yourself, bro. Good
appreciate
job.
you. I just want to make sure
he does this.
No, but like basically, long story short, I would say 2014 after I basically left that experience, I created my YouTube channel Clear Side. I was just doing horoscopes. I was reading astrology and tarot. Then 2014, my mom kicked me out her house because she caught me smoking weed. And she was like, you have a bad influence here. You need to go to Kansas with your uncle. And I had
you were
transferred.
living everywhere. Shit.
Straight up though.
You got to Kansas, Jersey,
Are you military? Are you military?
No, he's like, no, I just be fucking.
Right. So, you know, basically, Fresh Prince to Kansas. I transferred to Kansas.
Some rich family?
I mean, no.
Did you have a butler?
I didn't even. No, okay, I didn't think about that. I mean, they weren't poor, right? But they weren't like.
If you ain't poor, you're rich in my eyes.
Right? Shit.
There ain't no middle class. It's either you.
I like that. Yeah,
you struggling to pay the bills?
We didn't have a butler,
but
but shit, we weren't struggling. I'll say that. So, but
y'all were eating good, huh? Handcrafted sandwiches and shit with 7 different meats.
Did you live on a farm?
No. I mean, Gardner, Kansas is
down the street from a
farm. It is kind of yeah, actually. But it wasn't on.
It's always a farm somewhere in Kansas, shit.
Straight up. But I mean, it was interesting because at that period, I had a weird moment where I was like, you know, I always heard my great grandfather was a witch doctor and like could teleport and all that. I really want to know what he's like. And I said this in my head. Less than 24 hours, my uncle walks up to me like, oh, I'm the reincarnation of your great-grandfather, and everything in this world could be explained by science, even magic. Like, there's nothing that can't be explained by science. He talked about how aliens
gravity.
Yeah,
he's going to say some shit like, watch this ball drop.
I thought he said that's
gravity.
Straight up.
You were lost, huh?
Yeah.
I know you were lost.
I just want to ask, so what's your sign?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, let me guess.
Let's get, yes.
Okay, I have 3.
She gonna get on the first try. Watch.
Leo.
That's not a bad guess, but
Libra or Aquarius.
Oh shit!
You said not.
First of all, I am honored. Thank you. I am very honored. I am the notorious Two-Face, but
a Gemini.
Gemini? That's the only one I
knew,
know.
I was getting like
I
was getting airy vibes.
Right. My South Node is in Leo though, so I do kind of.
This one, I'm about to sit back.
Yeah.
You said your South Node?
Yes.
Break that shit down. What's that mean?
Right. Okay. So.
I'm dummy here, so both of y'all got to educate the dummies.
We
dummy
gotta
1, dummy 2.
We gotta break this down because
Terrence might be a little dummy too. Hey, shout out to Terrence on the side working the camera angles. Terrence, Big T over there, not getting this video time, but he's making us look great.
Okay.
So shout out to him. Now Node, what is that?
Basically,
South Node, North Node, East
South
West?
Node, North Node is destiny. It's about what you're meant to do, and I would say.
So why is it another sign?
Hey, I feel
because when you're born, there's you know how there's 9 planets, right?
Okay.
Where you're born, every planet is in a constellation.
Okay, wait. When I was born, every planet was in a constellation.
So like the sun was in Sagittarius. It was December that day, like it was Sagittarius season. but the moon might have been in
So
fucking Aries.
My sun is Sagittarius.
Yeah, and then like
but the moon position
could have been sitting in Scorpio or sitting in Gemini.
How do we know that? Though?
So that means you
you
got a
put
little
your
splash?
time, like literally the time you're born on the day, and it'll like give you
like where
like an
everything was
estimation of where
She's referencing
yeah.
a birth chart calculator.
Yeah.
Or there's so right now the stars are beefing right now because we're in the middle of a Star War. We're always in a Star
We're in the
War.
Star Wars.
We're always in the Star Wars.
So it's real.
Is Luke coming?
Am I Jedi or y'all
We've
Sith?
been here.
Bet.
So like she
So
just
that's real.
referenced what she just referenced right now is so important because she just referenced an astrology that's very debated upon. So there are a lot of reasons why a bunch of people who call themselves scientists who say astrology's bullshit, astrology's fake, is going to talk about the precession of the equinox. And
I'm
so,
one of those people. I think low key.
Well, hold on, because this is something that in my 8 years of doing this, 90-80% of the people who fuck
I never
with me
counted how many
are
years
all
I've been
women.
doing it. I need to count.
Like, there's a very few men
Come with the
that
facts.
are into astrology, and there's a reason for that. It's because the way it's like, expressed is bullshit. There's a deliberate attempt to make sure people don't take this serious. It's not that like people aren't woken up or stupid. Cause I used to be that type of dude that didn't fuck with this shit too.
All
I
right,
thought it was of the
so
devil.
let me say my side. I feel like people's like, all right, man, we're gonna do signs. I know a bunch of motherfuckers born in February that act alike. What? How they act, man? All right, they write it all down, right?
Right.
Then they're like, all right, everybody born in February acts like this.
Right.
Then they meet that one person that's a little different. So they're like, man, we gotta think of some bullshit to say to kind of
it's
save our ass. Hey, man, your moon was different.
And listen,
That's why you're different, because your moon was spinning on the other
and
side.
if you're skeptical about it because of that, you should be.
It sounds crazy, but everything sounds crazy. It sounds crazy that you have a heartbeat and when you cut your finger you bleed and then your skin can heal itself. That sounds fucking crazy.
No, but like
Everything
on some real
sounds
shit,
Wolverine, so I believe that shit and seen it.
A lot of people who talk about astrology
Everything's
don't know
fucking
what the
crazy.
fuck they're talking about. A lot of people say some stupid ass shit. A lot of people read a book and decide I'm an astrologer now. So
you know what
a lot
pisses
of
me
people
off
are
when
scared.
everybody.
Like
You know what pisses me off? What pisses me the fuck off?
Do you be having gems and crystals and shit like that?
No. I mean, I do, but
I
I don't know
have
how to use
crystals,
them.
but I don't use them
have but I
for
don't-
magic.
I just kind of have them.
You use them for magic.
I don't use them for magic. I'm not.
Do you do?
I
I'm
wanna know how
not.
to use
No, I'm not a voodoo person. I just have crystals
But
because of
She'll put a
the
hex
She
on
got
it.
hairs
But what you
and dolls
said,
and
what you
shit.
said is
Put
so
that
very
on.
important
No, the
because
fuck I
like
don't.
a lot of people really do stupid shit like that, and this is all I have to ask, this is all I have to say, because like the skepticism against astrology is warranted, but what people have to remember is if instead of an astrologer that was a doctor, why would that never be a doctor? Because you can't just be a doctor. You have to go to school. You have to take a test. You have to get certified. You can't just give legal advice. You have to go to school. You have to get certified.
I mean, you could try, but
Right.
we need that
But aren't there
assurance.
astrologists though?
No, anyone can be an astrologer. Anyone can go on YouTube. They don't
have a degree
because they don't
But
recognize astrology as a science.
No.
So there's
those people that work at like with the Hubble telescopes and shit like that.
That's
Those
not-
aren't-
Those are
astrologers?
astronomers. That's a good
Astronomers.
question.
That's
a
what
good
I
question.
meant.
That's a really good question. So there's degrees for that, but astronomy does not acknowledge astrology. And in order to be a good astrologer, you need to be a good astronomer.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Astrology doesn't acknowledge.
No.
Astronomy.
It doesn't make sense because it should. But
But it should. But it's still.
So
kind
the
of, some people
motherfuckers looking
still
at the
feel like
stars
it's-
don't acknowledge that other motherfuckers are looking at the stars in constellations.
because the misprevailing
and nodes and
because
shit.
what people think astrology is the planets affect me from a distance, and so astronomers are like, that's bullshit, and they're right. Planets don't affect you like that, but
Right.
that's not why astrology is legit. So a lot of people don't know about astrology and talk about it, and so that makes skeptics even more skeptical because they're like, this
'Cause when-
motherfucker doesn't know what they're talking
when
about.
motherfuckers start throwing out words like retrograde and shit like that,
So, but the thing
who
is,
the fuck?
That has
When-
to do with the planets, though. That like astrology. So like
That's not part of astrology?
when you dissect astrology, you're
Right.
just going to the basics.
Okay.
Okay,
What's the basics?
why you're compatible with another sign?
Okay, so-
why these why you have certain attributes. Like for example, he thought I was a Virgo because I made a comment about cleaning off the table. Virgos are very attention to detail. Like Shati, if you know the Shati is very attention to detail. You cannot get in her bed unless you take a shower first. To her, that's law. To us, we're like, okay, a day off. To her, she can't take a day off. Like, Virgos have, like, certain attributes that make them a Virgo. And people will be like, well, that's bullshit. Oh, because of my sign. No, it just so happens that the time you guys are born, you guys have similar personality traits.
And everything that she's saying is an intuitive understanding of astrology. So she's speaking a coded language that people who don't know what she's saying, it sounds like fucking bullshit. So I'm not going to lie.
So if me and somebody were born on the same day...
What happened?
What if me and somebody were born on the same day and we are friends?
Same time.
Same time, all that stuff. We're best friends, but we have different parent sets.
Same
and all
place,
that stuff.
too.
Damn near
the sun and the moon and shit.
So
you'll have the same archetype, but you're different souls.
Yeah, you're different people. You're different spirits.
And you were born in different places. That geographic difference.
Yeah, no, I was just about to ask about that.
City.
Okay, but also, too, you also have different relationships with God. You guys, everything about you two are still different, but you guys might similarly be hotheads. You guys might similarly be stubborn.
The same archetype, and you're gonna go through the same lessons similarly, versus someone else who. But you're still gonna have your own individuality. The thing here though is once again. Oh shit.
Oh, don't you?
Good. Keep going.
We got backup.
Yeah, the thing here though is once again like the misunderstanding about astrology is so deep. It doesn't. There's a reason why a lot of men aren't into it, and what I really grateful I do is that I kind of help bring a more realistic understanding. So like, there's no such like you are not your zodiac sign, right? So when we say someone is a Virgo, it's because their sun is there, right? And we know that, but it's way easier to say you're a Virgo than this person's sun is in Virgo. So it's really kind of to help break down the language barriers. So the reason why astrology is legit, and I think the dopest thing that was said is that it doesn't make sense that astronomers don't acknowledge astrology, because the people who can understand astrology the best are astronomers, but they have a block to really accepting that. Astrology is based off what astrology truly is. The whole notion of, oh, you're this sign and you act like this, that is but like 1/10 of
what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's just the surface level. So right. That's why I'm just saying, like,
the moon is here, the sun is here.
Yeah, it's like a basic. That's like ABC.
Right. Exactly. ABC, because it's
but once you start getting into algebra,
right,
and it goes more in depth, I definitely understand that part.
And what you see on newspaper, a lot of people think astrology is just newspaper horoscopes. Oh, Gemini, you're gonna feel this. Sagittarius, you're gonna feel that. So when you see people talking about retrogrades, my this isn't that, they're speaking a different language to you. So let's break down what astrology is. You have constellations, and then you have zodiac signs. When I was born, my sun or my zodiac sign was in the constellation of Taurus. But the reason why I'm actually a Gemini or represent Gemini is because you have the sun's ecliptic path. The sun travels every day. The reason why anyone who says astrology isn't a science does not understand or know what astrology is. The sun faithfully travels through the ecliptic path 1 degree every day. It's going to happen regardless of whatever. As long as that happens, it's going to have the planets orbiting around it, right? And then you have the celestial equator of the Earth. So the intersection between the equator and the sun's ecliptic path through that belt creates the seasons, the reasons why we have spring, winter, fall, summer. And so those intersections speak of the actual imaginary space that creates the belt of the zodiac, the calendrical system that shows us on Earth what the phase of the moons are relative to the sun. So the misconception, the reason why scientists think astrology is bullshit is, oh, well, there's the precession of the equinoxes. The constellations changed. But the misconception is that astrology is based on the constellations. Constellations were named after zodiac signs, but constellations are not zodiac signs. Indians who originated the Vedic system
used the sidereal system, which was understandable because before the ability to measure this, they based it off the constellations, but it's the seasonal zodiac imaginary space that makes someone an Aries. Not because it's in the constellation of Aries, but when we come to March 20th, we have equal day, we have equal night. That 30-degree space from March 20th to the next 30 days marks those aspects of our season. And science has proven that seasons affect your temperament. If you're born in the fall, you're going to act a different way than someone born in the summer. That's fucking zodiac signs.
How you act in the winter?
How you act in the...
Well, it's just like, for example, in the summer, you might like the warm temperature. You might be used to wearing a bikini on your birthday. I'm in November. I'm never wearing a bikini on my birthday. I'm just going to have a whole chill attitude about
Hawaii, you can be wearing a bikini on that motherfucker.
But like there's a whole different hemisphere. So it's winter in one place might be
November because my birthday's in November.
Right.
I said Hawaii.
Oh.
Which is going to be spring like in the southern hemisphere.
That's a valid point.
But the thing is that doesn't necessarily invalidate the meaning as much as what makes the reason why you're going to have a different archetype than anyone
but
here.
I was born geographically over here, so my sun was in a different degree than it would have been on the same day in Hawaii.
So the degrees.
So regardless.
I'm just saying at some point you may
so
be
that
able
would
to
have
wear a
been
bikini
like
on a
what's
birthday.
that? Like if it's like a 6 month, if you like if the opposite.
Who named
that'd
the
be like
zodiac signs?
I don't know.
Taurus. It'd probably be Taurus season.
That's a really good question. And you have to think that our understanding
in
of
Hawaii,
astrology is limited because of that the people who created it earlier.
Well, I wouldn't say Hawaii,
there was
but
Ptolemy
like in the
who kind of like
Caribbean
went in more and fleshed
below
it out.
the equator.
But it's important to understand like there's people who calculate it based on constellations and there's people who calculate it based on signs, and you want to really follow more the actual zodiacal space because that's the shit right there, and that's what it's the mathematical relationship between the planets and the sun.
How long have you invested in?
Like there's a place you get into once you get the basics, the matrix codes start opening up and you start to speak the language of the universe.
Yeah.
And so it's no longer about she's a Cancer, she's a Leo. That's a human being. There's different zodiac sign energies they operate with, but if this person's born in November, they're going to have more of the Scorpio energy. They're not going to develop you're all the signs, but some people develop more because they have different energy. And then you have
the influences of where the sun was, where the moon was, where on Earth they
and to
were
explain
at the
that, to explain because it's really
and
just
Mars,
a snapshot.
where Mars was and where Jupiter was.
Exactly, the different planets. It's like a snapshot of your blueprint that really weirdly
when you took your breath
enough,
of life and your spirit was created.
Exactly.
You know what I'm thinking right now?
Your energy
may just be high.
Think of the law of inertia. Energy never dies. It only transfers. So when you're born and your energy clicks.
So they're saying
that's your snapshot.
So y'all are saying like the 9 planets and all this other shit is all in line when you're born, right? So what if, just hold it in your mind. So we're on Earth, right? There's no other people on any other planets, right? So we're born here. We die. Say we go to our next life, and our next life is on Mercury. And this is Mercury.
Right.
And all the other planets are empty.
You know how you would know that though? The North Node and the South Node. We came back. The North Node lets you know where you're going in the next life, and the South Node lets you know.
No, but what I'm saying is just like you guys are talking about the planets and they have to be aligned and all this other shit and energy transfers and all this shit.
They don't have to be aligned. They're gonna be aligned.
What I'm saying is like
great.
And we pass and our energy goes into whatever the next life is, but that next life is on the next planet. But in that solar system, Jupiter is the only one that has life on it.
Right.
Everything else does not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
You're trying to say if you were born on a different planet, would the same rules apply?
Yeah.
Okay, so
are you talking about like a different dimension, different universe, but
the beautiful thing about what you asked is that's the language of astrology. So like this is the best. It's basically what you said, where like he's in a different place. So because astrology is math. It's basically you're just looking at the angles between the planets. So all the astrology language we speak is based on Earth.
Humans
So you would
be
have
making
to do
shit
it.
so much harder for themselves.
And making shit up.
I think they got bored.
So,
They just
like,
making
it
shit
is
so
what it
hard.
is.
It's been a long time, so they're like, nah,
They just
what we
looking
gonna
up
do
in the
today?
sky. I was like, bro, I'm telling you, they ain't have iPhones and shit back in the day. They was looking up in the sky like, damn, let's turn this into math.
No, he was like, hey.
He said if I was born on Jupiter, well, first of all, I feel like, yes, obviously your astrology would be different, but it would be a whole different measurement because we're measuring it from Earth. It's kind of like...
In each life, am I a Sagittarius? Because I want to be a Sagittarius in each life.
Well, see,
No,
you're
we're
not,
mixing
That's
you're
a
not
very
it up.
Sagittarius thing
You're
to
not
say.
you're not a zodiac sign though. That's the misconception because you're.
I know, but it's
But
so
he's talking
cool.
about
though.
the
Like,
timing in which he was
yeah, if I had
born.
to choose,
Wait, your
but-
Hey,
sign,
so-
your sign is Sagittarius?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What's
man,
yours,
you
bro?
too?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh,
no,
the
you said-
producer. The producer,
said
the
you're
wild
Gemini.
card, the transformer, or the pure.
Well, I
phase?
seen
The
that I was
wild
a
card.
transformer. I just read that the other day, and it was saying
You talking
because
about like
I,
Megatron
Like,
type shit?
no, it was basically. First of all, I'll be fucking Optimus motherfucking Prime.
Yeah, I told you.
But I was just saying that I was reading that I was a transformer, which means that I'm like the best at like dealing with fucking traumatic situations.
Yeah.
And it was just basically saying that I'm good at healing other people because I can withstand such a great amount of it. And that's why I'm good at transforming. That's why they call me the transformer. Good at healing people.
What am I good at? What am I?
The producer.
Oh man, that's
That's
all I
crazy
do.
that you threw that at me because I literally
Thank
just
you for
read
telling
that.
me though, because I wasn't even sure if transformer was the right word, but you confirmed it for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
I did. I read that the other fucking
We bouncing
day.
ideas in this
The
thing.
wild card?
I think
The
I might have
wild
fucking
card, or the
screenshotted
creator.
it.
You
He
do be
said the
creating
wild
some
card.
shit. Hey, you created,
Hey,
I produced it. We go put it to the top,
Hey,
baby.
Right.
That shit,
We
yeah,
need Big
that's-
T too, Terrence. You can be in that bitch. Don't even trip. You just a part of the crew. Shout out to Terrence in the back.
But
too.
the way I
like
created the peace dealer was my uncle basically was like, stop doing this astrology. Once you get a degree, I'll initiate you and whatever. And I was like, no. And he kicked me out his house. And
Because of that?
Damn.
right, because
Your family is not lenient, bro.
They're not fucking around.
We're from Nigeria, so it's the strict upbringing. But
Hey, man,
I
I'm
mean,
Nigerian.
No way.
I found that out.
Oh,
yeah, I did
this
my
is
93andMe
it.
type shit. Yeah, I'm Nigerian.
I love finding that out. Like everyone's all like, I'm Nigerian, and it's like I fuck with that.
Motherfuckers back in the day would have been like, nah, I ain't telling nobody.
Right, straight up.
I ain't telling nobody. Nah, I'm American. I'm from here.
Straight
I don't know no.
up.
Nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna find out my roots.
So seeing everyone embrace that, it's like, all right, this is it.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but my dad just told me recently that I have family from Nigeria. But on like his grandpa's side, so it's probably like watered down. My ancestors were fucking slaves, so yeah, we're pretty rooted in America, like the African American roots.
But originally
Traditional
they're
Black
from
American.
Nigeria.
Yeah, like
Embrace that too, though.
Right.
and
cool,
Native
right?
American
'Cause that
and Native
food is
American.
bomb. I had
Native
jollof
American.
rice the first
from,
time.
like, the land.
Yeah,
That's what's
and
up.
Native American.
I don't even know what I am, man. I'm just a white boy. I probably got a whole bunch of shit thrown into me.
Probably.
Yeah, I know. So, I don't even really know my pops like that. And he's a liar. But supposedly, his mom... Oh, shit, I bit my cheek. His mom's mom is from Spain. I take that shit with a grain of salt, though. Because, like I said, homie's a liar. She
gotta-
could be from, like,
you gotta do
fucking
the
Wyoming,
93.
for all I know.
Do the
But
93,
Spain
bro.
is
But-
kind of European though, so that's still.
Yeah, that's where how I got my whitey pasty skin and shit. The Europeans. Yeah, man. Well, I want to jump it over. You've been doing YouTube for a while.
Yeah.
How did you build it up? We're trying to do it. We got some questions.
No,
How?
that's a good question.
Consistency.
No, that's it. Consistency and experience. Like I told you, like 2014, I had to choose stay in KU or leave. And I mean, I knew someone who happened to be in the town who ended up hooking me up with a ride that I got to drive to Venice. So I created that new YouTube channel that morning that I got kicked out, called it The Peace Dealer. And really what I did with that was just put out a whole bunch of videos. But what grew my channel was consistency.
Yeah.
And just original content. And that's what kills me. Like when a lot of people want to do this, but they're like, nah, I can't do this or I don't want to.
I'm not like, I didn't use any fancy equipment. Would use a webcam, which I feel like paralyzes a lot of people. I just was all heart. I kind of kept it real, and people like that.
Yeah.
And just keeping that consistent. You know, some people explode even way faster than I did. And
all about being lucky.
Right.
Being really
what I'm
lucky
saying?
and the right person seeing the video, and then, but sometimes for the majority, like yourself and probably
Slow and
like
steady
us,
grind.
it's gonna take time.
And I appreciate that too, because
you look back and see all the hard work you put in, man.
Straight up.
So consistency, like when did you start when were you getting subscribers? You know, people you don't know, people are actually liking what you're saying, and they were actually following you.
That's a really good question. I would say, because I had deleted my old channel, my uncle had told me to like stop before, and I stopped, and then I created it again for a reason, and then that's when he confronted me, like, why did you do this, blah, 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 and I got kicked out. So, really, one thing that I would say I want to develop more is a social awareness, because like I was just so focused with putting content out there, I didn't really focus too much on the follower count, but I would say more so, really, after
See, that's what happens when I hit them with them questions, boy.
right
Just hit them with the tough ones.
Was it like 2016?
20 no okay, like, because I would say, because that's the thing, I never really experienced like a jump, then it kept going. Oh, there we go. Once I hit 10,000 subscribers, because once I hit
Shit.
that's kind of like when shit starts to get rolling, like, okay,
Bro, you're getting at least 30 to 40 subscribers a day. Your phone is ringing. Like, what do you mean?
Well, how do you feel when, I'm sure that happens, right? It's got to
Right.
40K. What, like,
That shit doesn't. You don't just get one a day. I mean,
you're right.
You get
It
more
is
than
like,
one a
it
day.
is on, yeah, it is. I didn't even think about that. And like the analytics have been insane once again, and it's just a rewarding feeling, to be honest. Like that, and that was more. So I would say 2013, 2016. Yeah, 2016, 2017 was when I really started like pushing it, and or it really started like moving forward. But it's cool because at first, once again, like I was just that weirdo that was talking astrology, and so I couldn't approach, because at that stage I was the neophyte, so I was trying to get experience and like ask everyone, "What's your chart? Can I read your chart?" And I would interpret it for them, and so you couldn't approach dudes like that because most men are like,
I'm like, no, you
that's
ain't
for the
read my
chicks.
fucking chart.
That's
man.
for the ladies. Like I don't
My
fuck with
chart.
that.
I'll read my own shit.
So no, they no one was really into that. It was really just the woman. So I would approach a woman, but a lot of women would think, oh, he's trying to. What's
and
your
because
sign? You're
men
trying to
don't
hit on me.
believe in astrology because they feel like they can have sex with any sign, which is true. But as far as like
Facts.
longevity,
Yeah.
I mean, pussy
as
is
far
put
as
on the woman, it's not put on the
longevity
sign.
and like what you really need to fulfill your soul, it matters.
Right.
I
astrology
could-
is crucial.
I feel that. But never when I ever had sex, I was like, "Hey man, what's your sign? Hey,
That's
tell me your
right.
sign real quick." Let
But
me
if
see.
you
I
did
don't
know
think
their
that is
sign,
And
you
then I can
probably
start-
maneuver
hey,
a little bit better.
Trust me.
start looking back and
If
be like,
men-
"Yeah, that
See,
bitch
but
was
I
crazy,
wouldn't want to only
Libra. I'm
date
not
the
messing
one
with that."
sign.
Or you can know how to
Once
manipulate
astrology,
them.
you can know how to you can
We
know
can sit down,
what
we
sign
can
you're
talk
dealing
more.
with pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it's not like
We'll
the
talk
sign
after
versus the
this.
person, right? But like if men actually knew astrology beyond the superficial, they would be into it more than sports. That's facts.
Because then they would
start
be able to
incorporating
read
it into
women.
sports.
Bet on
You
that
would be
shit.
facts. You can do that.
You can on
you can read a
astrology.
chart and know who's gonna win. You can actually look at the charts of the
Sag
players
winning every
of the
time.
sports, and yes, Sag is victory. So like you can actually bet
Man,
on
you be
Sag.
fucking
I'm telling
boosting
you.
yourself. Get the
I
fuck
keep
out
trying
of
to
here,
think,
bro.
it is the best sign overall.
No,
like,
it's now you're
overall.
doing too much. Now you're just being a
as an
Sagittarius.
overall sign.
Actually, if you're gonna ask me the best signs, for me it's Sag and Libra.
I'm trying to tell you,
Scorpio
as an
is-
overall
Hey,
sign.
I'm not even gonna
Scorpio's
rap for
dope.
my shit because I know a lot of
Scorpio is-
assholes that are
Scorpio
Scorpio.
is dope.
You're right.
But
No,
you never know what you're gonna get with a Scorpio.
Exactly,
You're
right.
right. But
Like-
I'm a blessed one.
Well, I
have
don't want
to-
a box
you
of
have to be
chocolates. I
pure.
want to know
Like
what the fuck
me.
is coming.
Scorpio's not for everybody, and you have to be pure. And Taurus is solid, but I'm biased though. Like the reason why I would say Sag is just because of the central position, and like I think Gemini is the best, and Gemini.
I got a couple of
But,
friends
like,
that ain't gonna listen to this pod.
My wife's
They
a
ain't gonna
Gemini.
get too big.
Right.
My wife's a Gemini.
Oh,
She
that's
about to
what's
go
up.
crazy.
But like really, I would say, you know, I mean,
My son's a
every-
Gemini. My mom's
every
a Gemini.
zodiac sign has like the legacy and like the facet of them. So like the whole notion of like there being a best sign is kind of like
Sagittarius.
It's
obvious.
person dependent.
It's
Right.
obvious.
It's Scorpio. Because you know why it's Scorpio? Because
not, though.
Scorpios are the
Scorpio
most
manifest
considerate.
That's you?
Sagittarius, actually.
My mom is a Scorpio.
You could say Scorpio manifest Sagittarius, so you could say Scorpio.
We
is-
created you.
Yeah,
We
that's-
sunned
That's
you.
fine.
When's your birthday?
That's fine.
I'm
You
really
created
into
the best.
this.
We
You
sunned
created
you.
the best.
The best.
As long as you know you
because
created
the
the
best.
best.
Because I'm the OG.
So Virgo is the master, Scorpio is pure, Sag is the wild card and the best, but Capricorn is the greatest. And then Pisces is the legend. Taurus is solid. Like every zodiac sign has like their penchant that makes them the best
Taurus
in their
is so
own way.
like underwhelming.
Yeah.
Solid.
But I just feel like
Taurus is the most underrated zodiac sign though.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
Because
my
think
daughter's
about
about to be a
the
Taurus.
ground. Everything that we're on is on the earth. That's all Taurus. If it wasn't for
You're
Taurus,
welcome.
right?
You're welcome.
We're on this show right
fucking
now,
welcome.
right?
well,
It's ridiculous.
I nourish the earth. I'm what feeds
The opposite,
it.
right?
Hey,
Scorpio, the
man, we working
underground
together in
gems.
this
Yeah, they
Teamwork
they're-
makes the
look,
dream work,
Wisdom.
baby.
Sagittarius over here burning shit down.
These motherfuckers. And you're the best. You're fucking shit up.
He's over here blowing shit
The
away.
tornadoes, yeah.
Hey, he's like,
But
man,
you need
let's go fuck up this shit today, man.
Let's go fuck up the earth and the water.
No. To help the earth out. We burn all that dead stuff and he blows
we're all
it away.
The four elements.
We all help each other
Holy
out.
shit. Fire, earth, water, air.
We're setting the fucking
Oh,
mood
shit.
in this
We're
shit,
the
people.
avatars.
Right.
But you know
That's
what's crazy?
insane.
You know why water is the best sign? Because we can blood bend.
I'll say
And-
that you could make an argument that water is the best sign because
We can blood. That's why you have to
the
just
last
laugh
sign.
because you ain't got shit but fire.
So you saying that you can fuck everybody up?
Capricorn
Like,
is
shut
the
up.
director.
Basically,
the
everybody's
greatest.
what 70% water.
Capricorn's at the
Yeah.
top of the mountain like peons. These people
I could
think.
blood bend.
These people don't
and
even know
it's
shit.
okay.
I feel you. That's what's up. That's
That
what's
sounds
up.
like some crazy shit.
It is, but it.
No, I was talking about blood bending
bloodbending is.
You didn't see the
insane.
Avatar? It's on Avatar the
on
last.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
argument
don't
that
put me on blast
water
like
is
that,
the
but yeah,
best,
no, I'm
though.
just kidding.
Maybe I'm
Man,
just
we're
childish.
parents. We
It's
watch that
just
shit. We're
because,
running it back.
Like
You
whenever
know, our
I
kids are getting
like,
older.
think
shit.
about the zodiac signs and shit like that. I mean, when you look at all of them standing next to each other, a Sagittarius standing next to everything else. Yeah, y'all are shit.
But that's the thing, though. Sagittarius is the energy
First
of
of
victory.
all,
right.
That's why it manifests Capricorn the greatest. Like, but it comes from Scorpio. So you could say water is the best.
Scorpio's
'cause,
the
like,
best. Not
Everything
only
is
are we
water.
the most
Kind
Why
of.
is that- I
considerate-
don't understand how a scorpion is a
everybody
fucking
loves Scorpio.
water sign.
Everybody loves Scorpio.
How's a
I
Scorpio a
don't
water
care.
sign? I thought
Scorpio
that
would be
shit would be
ice.
more like a fire sign.
A
No,
lot of people
something.
say that.
That's what I
No.
would think. Like, aren't they like
No.
feisty and fucking?
Well, Scorpio is the fire of water. If each element had it,
we're the most. We're
fire
the
of
most.
Cancer is the
water.
water.
We're the
water.
most aggressive out of all
Pisces
the
is
water
air
signs.
water, right? Territorial.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Possessive,
Scorpio
gonna beat
doesn't
your
fuck
ass.
with human beings. It's a primordial
believe
energy. But I mean,
It's because it's just exactly like a scorpion. When you see a scorpion trotting, it's always solo, and then it's always trying to hide somewhere if I can get out the sun.
I was gonna say that sounds like me until you was like hiding from the sun. I was like,
you know what's even crazier? Y'all are opposite signs, and
And
you're
we're
opposite
sitting
each other,
opposite.
and we're like kind of opposite each
Opposite.
other. That's
Yeah.
insane. And that's kind of how the energy expresses itself through us,
Oh yeah, that happened organically right there.
straight up,
yeah, we do that.
naturally.
You know, I came here. I was like,
There's
man,
no
I'm
plans.
feeling that vibe sitting across from Noriko. You know, let her gaze into my eyes as we're doing this pod and shit. And,
Yeah.
them pearly blues is gonna be like she's drifting in the ocean and shit.
In the
But,
water.
yeah, in the water
Water sign.
with the scorpions.
But one thing I do appreciate about what I do is the skepticism, because a lot of skepticism about psychics and astrology is actually true, because a lot of motherfuckers are on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Use this to scam people, molest people, hit on people. Oh, yeah, I got my Mars on your Venus. It's
Fucking
all-
man, hey,
If somebody told me that, I would literally.
you like that shit? You be like,
You got
oh,
my
for real?
Mars. You got your Mars on my
Were you,
Venus.
were you born in the daytime or the night?
Oh, shit.
You put it in my Uranus.
You would give him that death stare, and that would be it.
Oh man! So what do you have coming next? How are you taking your channel to the next level? Is this something that you are, taking seriously, doing as your daily job, and really honing in and trying to build this thing up? or is it still kind of like a hobby that you're doing?
And that's what I'm so grateful for. 2017 was when I broke through, and this was like a full-time thing. And so since then, I was getting stuff out the way to devote to a full-time, and I'm at a place now where like this is what I'm doing, and I have a whole consulting agency and team. And so where I'm ready to do now really is to network, reach out, and like build the influence, actually, you know, do events out here and at least do like monthly talks, or really at this point build a community and just like let people know we exist, we're out there.
So when I hit you up and I was like, hey man, come jump on the pod, you're like, this the fucking universe right here. I'm about to go meet this dude, and then I'm about to go branch off and meet more people, and
But
this
the
is how I'm
crazy
gonna
part
network.
is,
You know what? I didn't feel that until I arrived here.
And felt
then
the
I felt the
energy,
vibe. I was like, this is
yes.
it. This is it right here.
that's
This
good.
is it.
I was also going to say the universe and astrology don't necessarily go hand in hand, though, because a lot of people believe in the universe but don't believe in astrology.
One thing I do agree
I
is
like to
that
dabble
the
in a little
universe
bit
is
of
not
everything.
God. A lot of people think God is like the universe, and I believe it's more. I believe the universe is kind of like
The word for I feel like it's the collective, the sum of energy, like
Right.
for of the earth, like
or like
the sum.
or the creator of Nintendo created the hardware, and then he has a lot of software developers. So God is like the hardware developer, and then you have other gods who create universes, which is like someone created Mario, the other person created the Donkey Kong universe. And so like the language of the universe, the planets which have their phases, is a language, and that translates down here. That's basically all astrology is.
What if we're the startup? What if this is the first?
Hell no.
Like, this is the
We're not.
tester planet?
What if
We're
this is
not.
the end? And like
That too.
we're about to create a whole new system after this is destroyed.
So the creators is like, God damn it, this is my last fucking try. If this one doesn't work, it's a wrap. We're gonna blow this shit up. Start
No,
over.
I just think it's more so just an understanding of people, so that way you can know how to. It kind of goes with communication, psychology, because a lot of times people think that some things are psychology or psychological issues, but they're just emotional issues that you don't understand because you don't know how to read that person.
Right.
Astrology can help you understand people. So that way you don't take things personal. Because sometimes somebody might do something and it's pissing you off, but you don't know that's really just a personality trait that they literally can't shake.
That's facts.
So,
And
and,
it could
that's
really
what makes
help you
things
explore that.
compatible. That's what makes
She's
people
100%
compatible.
Because
And that's
maybe his work is his worst or her worst is something that he or she may actually like about them.
But
Is that what you're
unfortunately,
saying?
not like, but they can communicate with it better. Like they might be able
Yeah,
to read the signs.
yeah.
Like let's say you lash out with anger, and because you like things a certain way, but somebody that also likes things a certain way will understand where your frustration is coming from. Whereas somebody else who doesn't perceive that emotion may, think that you're
Get
being overly
angry.
emotional about something
Yeah.
that's not that. Especially like important to them, it's just like differences. Everybody's different, and like that's what astrology helps you understand about people.
it helps you understand shadow issues, unconscious motivations that you can actually see reflected. Like I can know your moon sign and know how your mother raised you. And that's not because I'm a psychic. That's just because
Okay, tell me then.
What's your moon sign?
Pisces.
Okay. Ooh. So Pisces is either here and there because Moon in Pisces usually either has like a codependent mother or a mother who really, really, really nurtures because Moon is nurturing figure, right? So the Moon in Pisces is super sensitive to every vibration, and that's usually
I'm very sensitive.
like you feel everything.
Yeah, I do.
So did your mom really tend to your emotions a lot
No,
more?
she's a Gemini.
Okay, so then she would be cold because Gemini mothers are more like so intellectual.
But she was codependent as well.
So that's why it could either be hit or miss. Either they're super nurturing or they're so cold that you develop that sensitivity as a defense because once again, my mom's a Gemini too, so
She's nurturing, like she'll feed you.
Intellectually,
but
right?
And like physically, but she doesn't care about the emotions.
or how you exactly
how you
right.
feel about it. Because she's like, I fucking fed you.
Right.
No,
and
like-
she'll talk to you and she'll like tell you
Advice, but she doesn't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. She's like, you're breathing, you're alive, you have food, like.
I would have assumed that it was being nurturing, but like that's good to know because, yeah,
That's really good to know. But
Well, she was nurturing in certain aspects.
But you said codependent too.
On, like, in her relationship.
Oh, her relationship. Okay.
Not with her
Not with you.
children.
Right.
So I don't know what you meant by that, like your mother.
Right. I mean, that's good to know too. The you get to know like how someone feels with their moon sign, but like yeah, you can really tell a lot by the house of the moon, the sign of the moon. But yeah, all I know about moon and Pisces is y'all feel everything. So I guessed with that, your mother would have.
I'm the best because I'm psychic. All of that. I feel vibrations, energy, everything.
But if your mom's a Gemini, she probably wouldn't necessarily believe that, or she'd probably be more logical and be like,
Yeah, she doesn't believe it. She'd be thinking I'm like crazy.
right, okay.
Like I dream too much, or like, I'm too optimistic.
That's good to know. But I mean, yeah, like it's just phenomenal.
You don't know your moon sign?
I don't even know how to figure that out. How do you do it?
I have
You
the
gotta go
CoStar
to
Astrology
your-
app.
You gotta find your birth certificate and look at the time you were born.
The OG astrologers would look at the sky, cast it, and then draw the chart. I'm trying to get on that level.
All right, that's where I'm calling
Right.
bullshit. Because it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. You are not about to look in the sky and be like, hey,
First off, not the
I
sky in
know
Las
you,
Vegas,
motherfucker.
Nevada. Because
Like
you can't
the-
see shit.
it's a little hazy.
Gotta get
It's
your
very,
telescope.
very
Yeah, like
bright.
I'm saying that if who's in North Carolina or Washington State or some shit like that, and you looking up and it's pitch black up there, and you can see like when I was in Washington State, yeah, you could see every star. Was you in Hawaii when it was dark? Could you see everything or no?
Oh, yeah, when you're on certain parts of the island.
Yeah.
It's real dark.
Damn.
Yeah. Good times. So, I know we kind of ventured off a bit. How are you taking this thing to the next level?
Networking. Cause like,
Oh, you said that. You said that.
And like I that was really my issue. Like, how do I get there? But I feel like I'm finally there for the first time.
So, networking in terms of you going to other people's shows or working with other people that may know other people, or you
Absolutely.
having more people coming on your show and doing interviews.
Just
all
going
of it.
out. Because I've been a hermit, really. I've been here for 4 years and I haven't really gone out. But I'm going to change it. I'm going to go out. I'm going to hit up open mics. I'm going to actually like explore. And I'm so confident at what I do that I want to approach skeptics and people who think this
And
is
prove them
bullshit.
wrong.
And be like, I'll read your chart live and you can tell me it was bullshit. And I'll be like, I know you lying.
let me describe you and you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
And
when you get it damn near pinpoint, that's when you start making people believers.
Yeah, and more so just to, yeah, and I like that you said that because I'm not too much more concerned about being pinpoint. I was
In the realm,
right because you want to be accurate.
Yeah.
but just as
you
far as
can't be
getting the
perfected on everything and everybody.
right.
It's not gonna happen.
But I forget. Like I will never forget the day. Like years ago, one of my good friends. He worked for Homeland Security, and I was like, "Yo, let me read your chart." And he's like, "Man, that's for the girl. That's for my girlfriend." But okay, and so he had his son in Virgo, and so I basically just knowing his sun sign talked about what was gonna happen for him, and he was like, "Damn, for someone who really doesn't know me like that, or
You did a good job.
right." And like
That's
this is
cool.
someone who doesn't believe in it, right? So it's like, I mean, it's not like he is a diehard believer, but he's like, I'm willing to take it that much more seriously because I wasn't just saying like Barnum statements like you're gonna have a good day. Like I was basically talking about
I hate that shit.
you're going, but see, so many astrologers and psychics do this.
Yeah.
And they make a killing. So that if people are skeptical because of that, they should be, because it's bullshit. And so this isn't a regulated field to where you have to, get a degree or get a certification. So any bum can really just finesse
Get
people.
up there and go bullshit a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just want to at least show people, hey, the real astrologers exist.
I really do this, and when
You know
you
what I'm
have
saying?
all the videos of you just preaching good shit, you came down here and I learned some new words and shit. Was dropping
Right.
some knowledge on us, and we was really being very detailed on what you're talking about. Knows that you put the time in. You're not one of those people that are bullshitting.
Right.
Now, with that being said, every time I have a new guest on my show, I give you the time to let the people know where to find you, who you are, where you're going, what you got coming up. And I'm going to sit back and shut the fuck up and let you do your thing.
Weird.
So, camera's right over there, man. Do your thing.
Thank you all for tuning in. Once again, this is Michael, a.k.a. The Peace Dealer. you can book a consultation with me at thepeacedealer.com. And if you're watching this here, use the discount code HOOKUP and you'll get any consultation $300 off. You can schedule when we talk. I have a whole team of X-Men, Avengers, super gifted individuals. You can hit up at clearsightconsulting.net. If you want to hit up my team, we got you, and we are out here to spread God's duties and responsibilities, but really just to, I feel, because like there was a huge part of me that wanted to be like the super woke man, and like I have to be super enlightened, and I remembered, no, it's about community. It's about really, I don't have to be right, even if everything I was saying was wrong. The whole purpose of this is to be in a position to lift someone else up and to kind of be there. So, you know.
And it's fun and exciting when you learn about it and kind of see the correlation between the things that you guys know and have been educating us on and the people that you know.
Right.
You know, when a lot of things and people add up and they do similar things, it's like, all right, this isn't a coincidence. Maybe there is something we should refer to.
It just will definitely make you very more aware and more observant. And since I'm already naturally an observant sign, it kind of helped me with
I'm
astrology.
really about to find my woman out there.
Now
I'm
it's
about
like
to
I
be
have
like,
superpowers. I'm just kidding.
You're perfect. Were you born at night? No, daytime.
Yeah, but now that I have that
it helps you
knowledge,
see what you're feeling. That's wild.
and then it makes me feel if it's like a personal attack or if it's them.
Nah, but we definitely gonna get with you with I'll get with you after this. We'll exchange information. There's gonna be a lot of shit going on in the city coming up, so we'll make sure to keep you informed on all of that. Make sure you join all our group messages, all that shit.
That's what's up.
All right, man, I appreciate it. And that sums it up for another episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I want to